We're off. Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. Holy moly. It's August is almost halfway over. Summer's gone. My kids are back in school. I'm a little bit frightened of the whole thing. So today, I'm here by myself, which is great. We've had a great pre-show. We got a big crowd here on the pre-show, which I encourage all of you guys to join in before we start recording. I know it's very hard for you guys to do that. Um, but I'm going to type something in here real quick. On, and I'm going to show you a few things. I have the housings for the pedals, the two remaining pedals of our triumvirate of germanium pedals that are coming out. And we'll talk a little bit about the pedals. But first things first, two things. I know everybody's pretty weirded out by the fact that Robin Williams killed himself. And so am I. Matter of fact, it's kind of ruined my week. I never quite understand suicide. And I certainly would have done anything I could to prevent that, as I'm sure all of you would. But it goes without saying that maybe it's time to pay attention to people that have depression. This is my public service announcement for the day, so take it with a grain of salt. We all know someone who has depression. Most of us are related to someone who suffers with depression. I know I am. I have several family members that really, really struggle with depression. And it's real. They can't just snap out of it. You can't say to them, come on, man, pull yourself up. That's not what it is. It's a disease. That's like going to someone that has cancer and saying, come on, man, just breathe. I know you have cancer in your lungs, but you can still breathe, right? That is not the way it works. It's real. I don't know why there's a stigma on it. But if you imagine someone like Robin Williams who was alone and either felt bad about being depressed or was so depressed that he hung himself with a belt off the side of his closet door, I heard on the news. If that doesn't create a horrifying picture in your mind, I don't know what does. So I humbly ask everybody who watches this, if you know someone who's depressed, they're afraid to call you. They are. I know it's hard to understand. They're afraid to call you. They think that you're bothered by them. They don't have the self-confidence to expose themselves and be vulnerable and say, man, I feel like shit. Can you help me? Can we just have a coffee? So we all know someone who's suffering from depression, probably relatives, friends, spouses, children, parents, whatever. Just pick up the phone and call them and say hi. Tell them you're thinking about them. It'll make a difference. Because, Robin Williams is just one of the most loved people in the world. Honestly. And he didn't understand that. He thought his life wasn't worth living. That's a true and sincere tragedy, my friends. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. That's my humble suggestion for the day. Dr. Knoll is on here, who can attest. He says it's so effing treatable if we can get all people to show up for talk therapy. That's right. Socializing. Having somebody sit there and have a cup of coffee with them and listen. It's invaluable. And it's only a little bit of time out of your life. And if you think about if somebody would have just called Robin and said, hey, man, let's have a coffee today. He might not have been sitting there alone. I know that's a simple, silly thing to say. I'm just saying in theory. And one of his friends might have said, dude, let's go to the doctor together. I'll go with you. I've done that for friends. I've sat in AA meetings with people, NA meetings with people. I've walked friends to the psychologist and the psychiatrist happily. It's a very large and complex disease and problem. And if you've ever thought to yourself, well, I would never do that. I would just decide not to be depressed. You're fooling yourself. It's as real as cancer. It's as real as anything else. And it's a physical disorder. It's not just an error in the thought process. But someone brings up here, could it be about 3 exes and money? I don't know. That's not a reason to kill yourself. Could be. That's still not, I can't find any good reason to kill yourself. Unless you're Justin Bieber. Oh, that was too easy, wasn't it? Yeah, Randy, you're welcome, man. It's just horrible. Robin Williams, my God. I heard that and just went, Robin Williams killed himself. Man, I can't think of someone who has more to live for than Robin Williams. He's got children, got a career that's one in a million. Half the planet loves him. And for him to feel that bad to want to kill himself is just a genuine and sincere tragedy. So, yeah, I make the bad jokes. There are a few people that should kill themselves, but maybe that's inappropriate. Yeah, it's a chemical imbalance. There's all sorts of reasons. I think there's more than one, but a lot of it is, your brain isn't working right. Like, for example, I bought this replacement keyboard for my Mac. Whenever I hit backspace, it goes really, really slow. Everything else works fine, but that backspace key just goes really, really slow. That's all it is, man. It's a miswire. It's something malfunctioning. There's nothing wrong with the guy. It's not the devil. It's not because he has regrets. It's not because he has debt. Any of that kind of shit. He's got a miswire. He's got a short somewhere. But anyway, okay, I'll stop. I just felt I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up. I made a few phone calls myself yesterday. Reached out to a few people I know on Facebook who are sitting alone by themselves with their computer. And the only social interaction they have is on this machine. So, anyway, please do it. I'll shut up. God, I keep saying I'm going to shut up and I don't. Anyway, it's important. So anyway, what's going on? Yeah, I won't kill myself over the backspace key. I just live with it. Because I'm too lazy to go buy another keyboard that works. So anyway, stop it, Dan. Stop it. What's going on at 65 amps? Well, we're in the final throes of getting these pedals out. I know it's been a long time, and I apologized. And I promised them earlier, and I was wrong. So I really apologize. I certainly didn't say those things without the best intentions. We just ran into a couple snags that I wasn't thinking about. Someone says, thanks for bringing positive attention to that. Oh, God, it's my pleasure, man. It's the least I can do. Well, one thing I did leave off of that little rant, I'll go back to it for 30 seconds. If you're suffering from depression, don't be ashamed of it. The only people that are going to judge you for being depressed are assholes. Assholes are the ones that judge people for being depressed. Assholes are the ones that look down their nose at people who are depressed. That's like looking down your nose at someone that has arthritis. Stupid. If you're suffering from depression and you need help, send me a note. I'll help you find somebody. Dr. Knoll here on the thing is a psychiatrist. Talk to Dr. Knoll. There's no shame in it. I won't tell a soul anyway, because if you're embarrassed by it, that's your business. I don't care. I'm not uncomfortable talking to people about it. So you're a psychologist. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Dr. Knoll. He's a psychologist. But you got 10,000 friends here on Facebook. I will talk to you. I will help you find someone who can talk to you. How's that? Even better. I got time for anybody who's sitting around thinking about killing themselves. And Dr. Knoll, back me up here. If you're in Southern California, go talk to Dr. Knoll. This guy's funny, and he's a great guitar player. I want to go down and book time with him just to know him. Like, just, hey, no, I'm fine. I just want to chat for a while. That's right. Ustreamer 940. Is that you, Bob? I think so. There's no shame in wearing glasses if you're nearsighted. So why should there be shame in taking SSRIs if you have depression? Amen. I don't know why people are freaked out about depression. I think it stems from 100 years ago when they thought it was the devil or something. You know, it's scary. It is scary. Dave G says, I'm depressed. My London combo is so heavy I don't bring it to every gig. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, there's options. There's people who care. I care. You don't even fucking know me. How about that? I care. So maybe some of you guys sitting here today are sitting by yourself alone with your computer, and you think your friends don't want to hear from you, and you think your friends and family don't care. You are wrong. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that care. There's a lot of people that give a damn. And I wish I could have said that to Robin Williams. It's just horrible. Anyway, okay, again, I'll stop. Pedals, back to the point. So I overcommitted on the pedals, and I apologize to you sincerely. I'm looking you right in the eye. I'm sorry. I certainly maybe was optimistic. I don't know. Anyway, they're being made right now. And so this is the color bender. And it will have artwork on it, you know, writing and all that kind of stuff. And the little light up logo goes right here. And this is the color face. It's Dan Boul. I've never heard that one before. And as Dr. Knoll pointed out earlier, this is the color of a prosthetic leg. And this is the color of some other medical condition that I've just at the last second decided not to say on camera. Anyway. They will be out soon. Guys are making them right now at the shop with the finalized boards. Blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not using the iPad kids to make them, are you? No, they're made right here in LA in our shop with the same parts that go in the amps. You saw the inside of the color boost, right? Same Sozo caps that are in the amp, same resistors, Allen Bradley resistors in the tone path, Vishay Dale 1%ers to hold the rest of the circuit tight as can be. Same stuff, same people. One guy makes pedals, one guy makes amps. You know. Actually, there's some girls that make the pedal boards. They got little hands. They can do that stuff really well. And they're really nice also. And then they go over to the amp builders to do all the hookups. It works really well. KMX Rock, bending metal case enclosure. Yes, this is not cast. This is true made in America steel. Made by Robert F. Thompson here in Los Angeles. Robert F. Thompson is run by our good friend Tim Mitchell, who I think you've met on the show before. These are all made right here. It's darn American. It's all American. Made by Merkins. That's apostrophe M-U-R-K-I-N. Merkin. As our old friend George Bush used to say. Or Merkin. We're going to go out and get all the tourists. We need tourists. What's Disneyland going to do without tourists? But anyway, I'll stop with the political jokes because I don't know if you guys know this. I like making fun of politicians, Democrat, Republican. I don't care. I'll just take the piss out of them and laugh myself to sleep. No, it's all made here in LA. KXM Rock. Just like my amps are. But anyway, so they turned out great, and they sound cool, and they're really fun, and they're going to be out. So the bender is going to be $295. The face is going to be $275. And then, wait for it. Hold on. You know you want it. We're going to do a box set for Christmas. All 3 pedals with a little shinier finish just for the special edition. And you can get all 3 pedals in a nice little thing. They'll be in 3 individual boxes in a larger box. Like jewelry boxes, I think. And it'll be fun. Itchy Brother Dig hearing the Mizzou leak out. What was that? Talking about Mizzou, that's where I went to college. SDJT says, recently picked up a whiskey. The dirty channel, of course, kills, but I'm stunned by the clean channel. Oh, thanks. 6L6s, unregulated biomaster volume. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. I do too. I think it's fun. And my glasses are kind of bent. That's why I'm here messing with them. Price point, for the box set, I'm not sure. Right, chair in Los Angeles. That's right. We got to see. The packaging is going to cost money, and the finish is going to be a lot more expensive than what's on here. Question. Since you said you could ask anything. Yeah, sure. What's the status probability of a 10-year anniversary Londoner producer version of the Londoner Stone Pony anytime soon? I need to do the 10th anniversary London now. I don't see it happening anytime soon. I originally intended to, and I just don't have time. I need help. Yeah, thanks, Haas. Yeah, we got quite a crew going on now. We got 8 builders full time, and 4 builders in the pedal section. So we're hiring some folks. That's for sure. Forget Hollywood. Your product is way more consistent than Hollywood. Oh yeah. What do you prefer? KXM Rocks asks. What do you prefer? Early, medium, late distortion. 6L6. I think I like late with boutique distortion. I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. You know, what song I'm playing, etc. How loud of a stage I'm playing. Kind of situational, I think. Our friend from Oklahoma says, my deposit for the 10th anniversary of London is burning a hole in my pocket. Well, thank you for that. I will keep that in mind, I promise. I'm not trying to blow you off. I just, literally, I have 10 things that I can't get to right now. So, we'll figure something out. We'll figure it out. It'd be easy to make, but right now we're just busy making everything else. Agua fria. So anyway, what's the Mizzou leak out? Special London. Yeah, I wanted to do a 10th anniversary London. I just really am buried. I just don't have time to address it. Maybe it'll be an 11th anniversary London. I don't know. It could be hand wired. All of our amps are hand wired, Dave. Did you know that? Oh, you're not being a pest, Kirk. I appreciate it. It's flattery. Thank you. Don't worry about it. You're all good. So, what else you guys got on your mind? Actually, I had a really nice meeting yesterday with Dave and Rob, and I think I was mentioning on the pre-show, we're going to start doing this show maybe next week, maybe a couple, 3 weeks, but over at Tone Merchants here in North Hollywood. We're building a set and like putting up lights, and it's going to look real, and I won't be in my front room of my house anymore, and it won't be like no lighting, so the webcam makes me look like I have, skin cancer or something. With a hillbilly, come on now, up there with your mama and them. Oh, you're talking about, my accent. Yeah. Okay, so just on a tangent. I have this really messed up accent because I grew up in Missouri. Live studio audience? Yeah, like 3 people, 4 people. Absolutely. I grew up in Missouri, which has this weird, it's a mixture of the Midwest and the South. People there call it the Mid-South. So depending on where you live in Missouri or what's going on, they say, oh, we're from the Midwest. Or they say we're Southerners. So one side of my family was definitely more Southern than the other. And the other side were German immigrants that were very Midwestern. So I have this mix, and give me a couple of cold Budweisers and I can go right back to it. And then I moved to Los Angeles where everyone made fun of me for having an accent. And I smoothed it out. And then I moved to Atlanta where everyone made fun of me for not having an accent. So what Southern accent I have came out really hard. And then I moved to England for a while where I got hammered about my accent every day. And then I moved back here. So I have this amalgam accent. Okay, who cares? Can you say what germanium transistors you're using in the pedals? Yeah, the good ones. They're awesome ones. I'm not kidding. They're just like freaking... I was stunned. I bought a sample pack of 10 thinking I'd get one good one out of it. And they were all 10, like perfect. So I called the dude up and said, hey, can I have 100 of these? We measured all 100, and like 98 of them were perfect. And I said, hey, how many of these you got? And he said, 15,000. I said, how much for the lot? The whole thing. I don't want a per piece price. The whole thing. You put them all in a bag. They're in bags of 100. Put them all in one box and ship them to me. And we made an agreement that was beneficial for both of us. And I got enough. Transistors to make these pedals for 5-6 years at least of heavy production. If they slow down, I can make them for 10 years. Let's see. Tupelo is the Mutts Nuts Rev. Oh, nice. Seriously awesome bit of kit. The tremolo is just gorgeousness and gorgeosity made oh, man. I think I'm getting a little flush here. Thank you, Haas. I appreciate it, man. I like that amp. You know what I'm going to do, though? I have sample speakers here from Celestion of their new American-style speaker. I think that might end up being great in the Tupelo. So I'll let you know how that goes. Maybe I'll play it on the show. Seriously, thank you. I'm flattered, Haas. That's fantastic. Rodrigo Martelli says, a tech question if you don't mind. I don't mind at all. Is there a really big difference between NOS black plate and gray plate 12AX7s? Which one do you like the best? No, there's not a big difference. My favorite 12AX7 is the Telefunken. The ECC 83 from the mid-60s. There's a lot of debate about smooth plate versus ribbed plate. I personally don't. Hey Howard, how you doing, man? I personally don't have a preference. I think they both sound great. They sound marginally different. I think unless you can go pop, 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 pop them in and out side by side, you're really not going to hear much different. They both sound great. The old RCA black plates, they actually just put something in there so it would turn black. It's a marketing thing. That's all it is. There's nothing about the black that makes it sound better. Just coincidentally, Joe, oh, cool, I want to talk about this. Coincidentally, they were doing this black plate thing when they just happened to be making a really good run of tubes for a few years. So, Arrigo, if you're looking at any old NOS 12AX7 that has a 17 millimeter plate, the regular, what's supposed to be a 12AX7, they all sound fantastic. You can't get away from that. UK Fast Fame says, hi from the UK. We like the US accent here. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. What model of transistors are we using? We're using the NTK 274s. NTKs. Joe K86 says, I have a Celestion A model and used it with my Tupelo. Sounds great. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about this speaker. I think it'll go really good, like in the Tupelo and the Ventura and the Producer 6L. Like if you really want to go for an American thing, I think we can kill it. We don't do like the hardcore American thing. It's always a little British voice, even though it's an American type thing. So I know there's a couple other guys just making like, here's my Deluxe, here's my Princeton, it's got an extra knob on it or whatever, but it's really just a straight up Fender clone. And they're selling the poop out of them. I'm like, really? I might just go buy a Fender. I'm going to go buy a Deluxe clone for $2,500, or I can go buy a Blackface Deluxe for $2,000. It doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. I like when the UK makes fun of the US accent. Yeah. There were a few times in London, like, every once in a while I'd be a little homesick and I'd go to McDonald's, which is really bad in England. No offense, Brits, but it's just horrible. I mean, ours isn't good, but yours is worse. And I'd go in and go, I'll have a Big Mac and, large fry or whatever. And the guy would turn around to his buddy and go, I'll have a Big Mac. I used to laugh my ass off. I thought it was just hilarious. Do you want a large Coke with that? Trying to do the American accent. And I'd say, oh, gov, not just get us a wink to a blind bat, eh? And it worked out pretty well. David Hayes, Killer Fenders. That's right. If you want a Fender clone, there's only a couple of guys doing it right. David Hayes is one of them. He makes like nut to bolt, perfect Fender clones. And they sound right. They're good. Really good. All of his amps are very high functioning. Sort of like George Metropolis's Marshall clones. They're just so neurotically there. They're perfect. Because even Fenders weren't consistent. I mean, you can line up 10 Blackface Deluxes in a row, and they sound like 10 different amps. Very inconsistent amps that use 10%, 20% tolerance parts. Because Leo Fender was notorious cheapskate. And, oh, good, Arrigo. I hope that information is helpful. Any long plate 12X7's usually a really good sounding tube if you can still find them around. Make sure it's actually NOS, though. A lot of guys say, test NOS. We've talked about this ad nauseum here, but I just want to repeat it. NOS means one thing. It's new old stock. It hasn't been used. You can't test for NOS. It doesn't exist. It's either been used or it hasn't used. If it still reads very high, you could say test like new. There's no test for NOS. If someone is saying to you, it tests NOS, they're a bullshit artist. Or they don't know what in the hell they're doing. They just bought a tube tester and start buying tubes and test them. But that's right. Leo bought everything military surplus. That's why you get amps that have mismatched transformers and speakers, random different speakers being used, random parts. He just bought cheap stuff. They just happen to turn out really well. And they're very reliable amps. Which is why I think, the big 3 amps that, ever made it on stages, Fender, Marshall, and Ampeg in the bass world, is because they were the ones that were roadworthy. That's why guys played them. Vox, one of my personal favorites, not a roadworthy amp. Ampeg, same way. Gibson, same way. Sun, same way. Orange, same way. Not super reliable. And if you're out making your living on the road in 1969 or 1972, and you've got this oddball amp and you're playing at the State Fair in Des Moines, Iowa, and your amp blows up, you're fucked. Whereas, Fender amps pretty reliable. Keep some spare tubes around, they'll run. Same with Marshalls. But anyway, so we're getting close to 1 o'clock. I got to run shortly. This has been an oddball show. I didn't mean to spend so much time. JMB in Arizona. What's up, JMB? Well, we're just getting ready to sign off, JMB. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spend so much time talking about Robin Williams, but it's important. It's very important. So for those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the show, I am commanding you. I'm humbly requesting you. I'm asking you. I'm suggesting to you that someone who's suffering from depression right now. I want you to call them. I want you to send them an email. I want you to invite them out for a coffee. Invite them to go hit a bucket of balls. Invite them to go watch the game at the bar. Whatever. Reach out to them. And since we lost our dear friend Robin Williams this week, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Yeah, Tracy, I'll give you a call here when the show's over. And Brian Mendes, I apologize. I didn't get you on the phone because I ruined my time. We'll do that next week. So for those of you, look on my Facebook page, Colossal Cable. Brian Mendes posted a giveaway. And sign up, and you can win what I think are the best cables on the market right now. That's what I use. That's what's all over here. This is all Colossal Cable. And I'm still using the stuff I got years ago from Brian when he rented space out of our shop. They're incredible. It's unbeatable. And they're not stupidly expensive either. And Brian's extremely cool. Oh, Dr. Knoll, you're welcome. Hope always saves. That's right. Well, killing yourself's not the right answer for anything. Except for Hitler. That was a good choice for Hitler. I think most people will agree that was a good choice for Hitler. I think so. But, Hitler's kind of the exception to a lot of things. Like, I love everybody. Well, except for Hitler. And Dr. Knoll says, und Biber. Oh, das Biber. Wir müssen ihnen gestorben. Yeah, Hitler was weird. I mean, no one's all bad. I heard Hitler really liked his dog. And my favorite Hitler joke, why didn't Hitler drink tequila? Because it made him mean. Anyway, add another 10 minutes. I just got here. Man, okay, I'll give you a couple minutes. trying to make jokes about a very sensitive subject. What we were talking about at the beginning is, and we all know somebody with depression, and after watching Robin Williams, like, who is loved more than Robin Williams? He's got a lot of peers, I guess, but who is loved more than Robin Williams? I mean, that guy has made me choke my drink out of my nose laughing so many times, and I would just done anything to meet him and have 1/100th of that rub off on me. He hung himself with the belt from his closet door. Shakespeare couldn't have written a worse tragedy. And honestly, all you got to do is, not that it's going to save anyone's life, but hell, it might. Reach out to somebody, even if you haven't talked to them in years. Hey, Steve, how you doing, man? I was thinking about you. I'm in town. Let's go get a coffee. Let's get caught up. Get you out of the house. Or whatever. I'll come over with a pizza and a six-pack. We'll watch the game. It's not much time out of your life, So, do it. There's always a rebound when a famous person commits suicide. Keep an eye on your pals and don't be afraid of the emergency room if it gets dark quick. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, when depressed people see someone like that commit suicide, to them it seems valid. It seems more likely. It seems like an option. And it's not. I'm telling you. Sure, Randy. I'm always up for jokes that make me spit my coffee out of my nose. I love to laugh. And I'm easy to make laugh. So, yeah, thanks, Dr. Noel. Again, let me just say, I want to reiterate a couple things really quick for those of you that didn't see it, or maybe you weren't paying attention when I was starting the show. If you, any of you, watching this live or watching the recording, are sitting at home contemplating suicide, you get a hold of me. I will talk to you. I got Facebook Messenger, Dan at 65amps.com. I have text on my phone. I will talk to you. I care. I really care. And there's a lot of people here who do. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. And if you're in Southern California, look up Noel O'Malley, who's here on the show with us. This guy's funny, and he's a good guitar player, and a great person. He'll talk to you. I'm a happy guy. I try to be happy. I'm not always happy, but I make a concerted effort to be happy. Even before Pharrell Williams wrote it. Yeah, find Noel on my Facebook. It's not a problem. I know if you might be sitting there thinking, no one cares. I'm bothering my friends. I don't want to impose on people. I'm embarrassed to talk about it. I'm ashamed of it. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Trust me, take my word for it. You are wrong. You're nothing but wrong. People care. A lot of people care. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Trust me, you're the only one who's worried about it. No one else is. And I won't lie to you. I tell bad jokes. I say inappropriate things. One of the things I don't do is lie. So, R.J. Sanders is posting the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. I know as musicians, we can be a moody bunch. We can be a moody bunch. Thanks. The koozie's on the way. Right on. Thank you, sir. We can be a moody bunch. Glenn Jacobson says, I care too. Anyway, This is a message you should be telling your friends. I'm telling you because you are my friends. You're people who care about my company. You spend money with me. All those things. You're my friends. I care. I've never met most of you. Maybe never will. But I give a damn. And so send this out. Repeat this. It's no big deal. We got Glenn here. He cares. He's in Chicago. All right. We got any New Yorkers here that care? Got any Floridians here that care? Any Washingtonians? I mean, everybody does, man. Send this video to someone you know who's depressed. It's a link. It's a click. Get over it. Anyway, I'll stop. It's just sad. I have relatives that are just completely wrecked, and it's just so, suicide's not the thing, man. I'm telling you. It may look right. It's like when you look outside and see the earth is flat, you know it's not. You know it's not. You stand on a flat runway and you think, boy, the whole earth is flat. It's not, and you know it. Richmond, Virginia, Reverend Randy Krath. I wish all reverends were like you, Randy. So, anyway, I'll stop my Jerry Lewis telethon impression. But I appreciate the positive responses here. It's very important. I don't mean to harp on it. It's important. I'll shut up. It really is. But you know somebody. You know somebody right now, and their number's on your phone. Pick it up and call them, okay? All right, fellas. I love you. I'm sorry the pedals are running late. You're going to see them soon. I swear. We're going to be silk screening next week. So it's like ready. Ah, man. JMB in Arizona, of course. Don't mention it. It's important stuff. This is my friend in Arizona here that I know. And we've talked about these things. He has family members that are going through stuff. And everyone does. Like, most normal adults will have one period of clinical depression in their life, I think. Dr. Knoll, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, this isn't some oddball, freaky, scary thing. This is normal. It happens to everybody. You probably work with 10 guys that are suffering from clinical depression and taking meds right now. You just don't know it. And they're all too ashamed. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. Dumbest thing in the world. Butchmeister, thank you, buddy. Dr. Knoll says it depends on if they dated my ex. See, now that's a funny psychologist. God, I'm just ranting on and on, aren't I? Okay, you got your 10 minutes, JMB. I got to go. This is something I feel a lot about, and I think I'm wearing everybody out, so I'll stop. But Dr. Knoll, man, it depends if they did. Come on, that guy's a psychologist, and he's making this joke. I know, funny. That is funny, Knoll. You automatically get a free key fob. And we didn't even talk about the key fob thing. Real quick, if you go buy a color boost at any of the guitar centers that have them, which is I put a list on there, I will send you a key fob just to shut Miles Rose up. If that's not worth buying a pedal, I don't know what is. Anyway, love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Take care.